Greetings, housemates. I'm Fwop. I know.
I'm Lethe.
You can see us
Yes,
for the first time here. Let me give you a close up of Lethe for a couple seconds, but I know you won't be able to bear the awesomeness for too long. So there he is, majestic in his natural habitat,
darkness.
darkness. So this is our inaugural BleakHaus house call. Everything's inaugural this week because we just launched, and it was good for me. I hope it was good for you too, Lethe,
Indeed.
and viewers as well. So our house call is where we tell you what we're up to, and we let you see our faces for like the first time ever.
I'm sorry.
Well, Bleak House is all about suffering. And we tell you what we're working on and what we're planning to work on, and we announce anything cool that we're doing. We got some cool stuff that we're doing. So, we streamed our inaugural live stream. Like I said, everything's inaugural.
Yeah.
It turned out well until we blew a breaker.
It turned
Sorry,
out
guys.
well until Fwop handed me a dead mic instead of a live mic. And we had silence while he's playing the Long Dark. So it was a long silence for an hour.
The long silent dark. That's how I like Lethe. Silent. No, I'm kidding. I did it to protect the viewers from, the tapping of the rap tap tapping of a mic on the move. But I'll make sure to turn it on for you if I turn it off for you.
Sure.
Whoever turns it off is probably responsible for notifying someone that it's off.
Yeah.
So that went pretty well, really. If there are any games on that, if you saw it, if you caught it, if you're going to go back and look at it, it is on our BleakHaus channel, one of our 3 channels, our collaborative channel. Then let us know if you liked any of the games you saw there, and we'll consider putting them on our hit list to play next. So let's see.
In addition to that stream last week, we're gonna try and do them, I guess, weekly, hopefully. And this upcoming week, we're gonna do a stream on Monday, and it will be another probably sampler stream. But there'll be one thing that's the reason that we're streaming. We're not gonna tell you what it is, not yet. You're gonna have to tune in to find out. It's special, it's secret, and it's bleak.
So secret and bleak. Yeah, so we're going to be streaming from not just a PC, but console. I will probably kick it off with some PC streaming until Lethe can join me after he works.
Yeah.
Worker.
Don't quote my work.
I try not to. Ooh, sick burn. That, of course, will be on the collaborative channel if you want to check out any of our other stuff. I have my own channel, Fwop. And Lethe has his own channel, Lethe.
Easy to remember.
We try. Also, our Heroes of the Storm names. Come on, guys. There's the theme.
Yeah.
Across all the channels, we are playing the following games. Just so you know, this is what we are currently doing. We're playing Darkest Dungeon on both Lethe and Fwop's channels.
Yes.
We are playing Civ 5 on Fwop's channels. We are playing Ori and the Blind Forest, also on my channel, and Axiom Verge, a weird retro Metroid shooter. Civ 5, Ori, and Axiom all come out every 3rd day, but they're alternating, so you get one of each of those every day.
And as for my channel, I am currently playing Avernum, Escape from the Pit, which is the first in a long series that I hope to get all the way through. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is just an old favorite of mine that I will have played into the ground and will continue to do so. And something forthcoming is Coder 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, which I've just started up today, basically, and will start releasing. Now, whereas My Darkest Dungeon, Avernum, and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline playthroughs are on a every 3rd day release, like the things that Fwop mentioned his channel, Coder 2 is going to be on a as I record it, I release it basis. So those videos will be coming more frequently. My sort of responses to any kind of comments or advice can be a bit more flexible since I'll get them probably before or as I'm starting to play the next part. And Going forward, I am also going to be playing on my channel Diablo 3 once the new season comes out, which we'll talk about later.
Awesome. Yeah. So, things that are in the pipeline, almost guaranteed. Uh, Big one coming up, XCOM 2. I'm so into it. I'm doing an advent calendar series, which is kicked off pretty awesomely. The video editing is brutal and more than I can handle right now, so we're discussing how to keep it going. But I will be putting out 31 episodes, and the last 7 will be totally awesome. Even if the production quality of 2 through 24 aren't quite up to par for the first one, which I spent like 3 days planning and 1 full day of work executing. But it is cool. I'm very proud of it. We're also going to be doing, Diablo 3, like Lethe said. Season 5 is coming out. And there was something else about it.
Oh, it's a patch, 2.4.0.
Yes, and the patch.
New content, new areas, all sorts of stuff.
And we want to play some Endless Legend on our co-op. It's a really cool game. It's a little slow for that format, and we're a little pressed for time, but we're going to try and squeeze it in at some point.
And probably also Endless Dungeon.
Yeah, and Dungeon of the Endless.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I get it confused because everything else starts Endless Space, Endless Legend, Endless Dungeon makes more sense. But and a series that we've already got some video recording for, but we have yet to do our cooperative commentary on StarCraft Total Breakdown. Lethe, tell them what that's about.
So this is for the StarCraft 2 franchise, eventually all 3 games. We are starting at the beginning with StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. And our collaborative efforts on this are multiple. First, Fwop's going to actually do the gameplay on brutal difficulty because he's the one who can do that. I can only ever manage to get it going all the way up to the hard difficulty. I'm fine with that. My contribution will be primarily sort of character profiles, sort of analyzing what the background concepts or whatever are involved in the characters, the plot line, and that sort of thing. And additionally, as Fwop mentioned, some collaborative commentary on his brutal playthrough. He will play it through, sort of silent because it takes a lot of concentration.
But deadly.
Go silent but deadly, yes. And then we will go over it after the fact and point out things when we have the time to slow down, look at it, talk about why Fwop made the choices that he made, why he didn't make the choices he didn't make, and why he perhaps should have made some choices that he didn't make.
That's pretty much guaranteed to happen. Also, of course, we are using just whatever webcams we could get a hold of on like 0 days notice. We figured it was more important to get our faces out there and that the poor quality might help, smooth over some of the other defects in reality. So, our apologies, but BleakHaus style, we don't actually care if it offends you.
I apologize for nothing.
Yeah. So, we talked about the next live stream. Oh, the exciting news. Darkest Dungeon giveaway. We have a free copy of Darkest Dungeon handed down through the internets to me by Red Hook Studios. Well, I mean, it would have been to Lethe if he'd sent the email, but it came back to me. So they gave us a free key because we are covering Darkest Dungeon, and they said, good job, keep it up, tell us more, and if you need any help, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for recognizing us. We've got 100 subscribers between the 3 channels, and 30 of those are the same. So we're happy to get anyone recognizing us as even potentially worth their time. So we decided promptly to give it away because we already own a copy each because it's so good. So we're going to give it away, and the contest is going to look like this. We are going to make a video. On that video, we're going to outline the rules of the contest, and we're going to play some of the narrators, some of our favorite quips of the narrator from Darkest Dungeon. Then we're going to ask people to put to make up something they wish the narrator said in a given circumstance. So you're going to be required to put in the quip that you wish the narrator said and the circumstance which triggers it. Walking in a hallway would be the kind of generic one, or like sitting around town. Like those are fine, any circumstance. But getting hit, crit, specific characters, all that stuff, just something so we can imagine the context in which it's Wayne June, I believe is his name.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He is so epic, and wouldn't it be awesome if we could convince Red Hook, because I'm not going to say we have pull.
We don't.
But we don't have pull. But we'll at least use it in our review, and both of us will give it our best Wayne June try.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Ambushed by foul machinery, or whatever it is.
Foul invention.
Foul invention. That's the trap maker's art. Trinkets and baubles. That's the one that plays in my head all the time. I'm like shopping in Acme. And so, okay. So we'll put up that video. Whenever the video goes up, next couple days, the competition, whatever, will end on January 19th. And the way we're going to choose the winner is whoever gets the most likes. Correct?
Yes, that was our decision, so as to not be incredibly arbitrary.
Yeah. So whoever gets the most likes, bring your friends, obviously subscribe and like our videos, or we won't pick you. Actually, we can't tell, so just go for it. Just make a great quip and get people to like and subscribe. So at the end of the video, we're going to be like, guys, check out the comment section for some excellent quips from our people. Hopefully. I'm going to put in like 6 myself from all my spam email accounts.
And we should note the date of January 19th is not arbitrary. That is the launch date for the Darkest Dungeon itself. Now, we understand that obviously there will be a new region released, and of course a final boss. Also, perhaps another class. That's right, another class?
Yeah, the Merchant.
The Merchant. And we've been told, sort of vaguely in the email about the future release, that we would be seeing some
brand new content. Hey guys, so Lethe just like timed out. He's inside Philadelphia. I'm out in the suburbs. I have Fios, and he's got oh I'm so sorry you can't see the face that's frozen there. Just bring your attention to here. I wish I could zoom in on that, but I can't. All right, so yeah, but it's okay because I had internet problems until recently where I got my Fios hardwired to my computer. The wireless, not so hot. Hopefully he will be rejoining the call as soon as he is able.
And we're probably also, in addition to the things we've already talked about, going to see some other new features rolled out. Now, what do you think those might be? I'm trying to think of it myself.
So, I mean, my thoughts would be, barring anything outrageous, like completely new features, that mini bosses are the easiest thing for them to do. Like, they did a patch and they rolled out the Collector. They rolled out the Madman, who's not really a mini boss, but he's...
The Grotesque Shambler is another mini boss.
Yes, and the Grotesque Shambler, all in the same patch, without any real fanfare, I mean, that I saw, but I guess I wasn't paying that hard of attention. So I'd suspect a little more, maybe some more universal enemies like that who can show up in any area, because that adds spice to the whole game, and it's probably the quickest, easiest things for them to do. Now, the Merchant class, I mean, there's a chance there could be some weird features related to the Merchants.
Right.
Because obviously they're going to have kind of economic abilities or something, but I don't think they're going to mix up the tactical or the economy too much. I wouldn't be... If you could sell heirlooms, I would be pleased.
Wait. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. Gotcha.
But
heirlooms. I was thinking of trinkets.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if they tacked on some functionality to the wagon or the survival camp, I would be happy about that. But really, they got the formula down, and yeah, I would think mini bosses. One thing we've been speculating on back and forth is, do you need to complete all of the caretakers checkboxes, the list of like defeat every boss,
Right.
raise every hero to level 6, every class that is, to win the game, or is that just a nice achievement list?
Or even more onerously, to access the darkest dungeon at all.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Do you need to complete all those checkboxes before you can even get in the house? Which, if you had a hero of level 6 in every class, when you got into it, jeez. That's like, what could possibly be in there, and how long could they make it? Because you couldn't adventure in that area as long as you have adventured in the other areas. Yeah, so access to the darkest dungeon and the actual win condition, we're kind of curious about.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you want to spark in on a debate about darkest dungeon, I've been trying to figure out how scouting works, and if it's per person, and that each person who succeeds gives you one more distance from the room you're in of scouting, or not. If it's like per party, and sometimes you get extra lucky and get more. I'd like to know your feels, because it would be really hard to tell for certain, if really impossible.
So I think that's about our coverage of Darkest Dungeon. There are a couple other things we want to talk about. Here's a channel-wide or all channels-wide feature that we want to roll out, at least for some of the series. We want to do episode 0 series, episode 0 episodes at the beginning of each series. Yes. Now, you've already seen something like this with my first video for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. It's a video in which we don't necessarily have much in the way of gameplay, but it introduces the game, some things about the game, what to expect, how the mechanics work, and in the case of role-playing games, character creation, and things like that. So basic, start the game, get your profile together, plan type of episode.
Yeah, we want to make an episode where you can get an idea of what the series and the game are about from the first episode. So if you were curious about all of our content, or you want to know if a series was right for you, then you would just search on any one of our channels for episode 0, and any of the series that we started since BleakHaus launched, we would try and have an episode 0 that you could tune into. So you could just search for EP0, and all of our initial episodes would pop up, kind of our intro to the series, and you could check those out and see what you wanted to watch more of.
So, like I said, we have one of those already, and I'm going to do one for the Knights of the Old Republic 2 playthrough that I'm doing, and just in general from here on out, for role-playing games especially, I will surely have one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
you will.
Let's talk about Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, I do love Heroes of the Storm. Although we're not, we're not grade A, but I feel like we're B minus.
We had some good games today that we played with our very avid and loyal community member, Eskimo.
Much better than us, I think.
Yeah, certainly knows more about the mechanics and the meta.
In tune.
But of course, coming up, along with the drop of Season 5 of Diablo 3 and patch 2.4.0, we're going to get some new stuff in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, so, biggest coming up is Greymane. We watched the Champion Spotlight, like I'm pretty sure everyone who's interested in Heroes of the Storm did, and he looked pretty brutal. Lots of diving in, which of course can get you murdered. But, like, that triple finisher, like if his ult kills someone, he can use it again immediately, and then at level 20 he can use it a third time. Like, everyone wants to use that, but I don't know if that's really going to be too viable in play. Like, how many times do you get to finish off 3 enemy teammates?
Yeah, it would be a very unlikely circumstance, but maybe it'll pay off. You know, if it happens even once in a match, it's paid off for taking that skill, I think.
That's true. Like, I got a triple kill with Diablo's Hellfire Lightning Breath today, and it felt so good.
Yeah.
Um,
And in addition to Greymane, I think we're going to get the Space Lord Leoric
super
skin.
stoked. I love it. I want it.
I haven't actually looked at it. I think there have been screenshots of it, so I have no idea what it looks like.
I've seen video of it. It looks awesome. It's like,
Give us a reference point. What is it? What does it kind of look like?
I mean, it brought to mind, it brought Tron, and there's a character from League of Legends, the Samurai of the Wind. I can't remember his name. He has a huge sword, and he has this awesome ult where he's like digitized. It reminded me very much of that.
I see. Okay. So I can see the Troniness in that if he's all digitized.
Yeah, it looked pretty sick. I really liked the video, and I might have to get it. I do like Leoric, although I've recently been playing so much Diablo, Tyrande, and a little bit of Thrall, and I popped in some Muradin because anyone can play Muradin.
And then also the new content that we've mentioned for Diablo 3 in patch 2.4.0, there's a whole boatload of stuff. There are new sets, as there always are, and in addition to new sets, there are now set dungeons. So when you have completed some of the, I imagine, 6P sets, you will be able to access a new type of rift, a dungeon in which you can go, and then I assume it will be geared in some way towards the special abilities, the passive abilities that set gives you. Moreover, there will be empowered Nephilim rifts so that you can power level and search for loot at a better rate. They've made a whole lot of adjustments to Nephilim rifts and greater rifts so that you can plow through them faster, making the achievements for getting through them fast and for getting to a particular level of Nephilim rift, either solo or with a team, perhaps a little bit more accessible to all the players. And of course, they are releasing a new area, Grey Hollow Isle or something to that effect. And I haven't looked into much about that except the one teaser they said where the land itself is hungry for blood. So some kind of environmental interaction going on there.
Negative life regen across the board.
Yeah.
For the win. So, of course, that would make a perfect episode 0 for your Diablo 3 is covering the patch notes and the season, the changing of the seasons. And let's see. That covers most of what I wanted to talk about.
I don't have anything particularly interesting to add.
All right, so we're going to wrap up this house call. No need to draw it out. Oh, don't shake the desk. And look, if you have any feelings that you want to express to us about how the channels are operating, it's like this is the video to put that in a comment. And if there's anything in particular you want to see from us, especially if you saw something from that live stream, I'm just saying, or you see something in the next live stream, feel free to comment on those or on our house calls. And we plan to live stream house calls. This is just the first one. We're just like, get it done, get it out there, and establish the tradition. But next week, Thursday evening, we'll make an event for it. We will try and do a live house call and get anyone who wants in to chat with us or at us on text-wise, that is, and hear what they have to say.
So as he said, you can leave your comments in the video below here. Leave him your feelings. Leave me your thoughts. I'm not interested in your feelings.
Ouch. I will take your feelings and turn them into a tactical advantage against you.
And he said you might find something interesting in the live stream. You will find something interesting.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And if there are any other games that you think we're particularly well suited to playing, let me know. Besides Dwarf Fortress.
If there are games that you think we're ill-suited to playing, we'll play those too and suffer for your amusement in a Schadenfreude stream.
Oh yeah, we're actually collecting. We have been collecting some of our worst moments ever.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah, there's especially a good one late in my StarCraft campaign series where I was like, we're under attack from all sides. Go Thor, go Thor. you can imagine where that landed us. Utter defeat. It's the one where you have to protect Kerrigan. There's bases on all sides, and Thors are just waddling around and getting stuck. Oh, it was miserable. Yeah, we will have a worse hits reel at some point.
We're calling it Let's Lose Dignity.
Let's lose dignity. Yeah, and we may even bring other faces in on our house calls because we have friends and we have community members and we want to share.
He says that as if you wouldn't believe us.
Sure.
We have friends, really.
We do. BleakHaus. Hashtag BleakHaus. So, I think that's it. All right. And so now it's time to land the sign-offs. All we have to do is stick this one thing and we'll be like, we're good. Goal. So, this house call went so well that it must be that everything is downhill from here.
And unless you're liking our videos and subscribing to our channels, I don't care what you do.